Today we're going to talk about 10 essential things that we think you need for van life. We've collected this from 8 months of traveling in our motorhome around Europe, and we hope you find it helpful. Starting off with the least essential, these things are not absolutely necessary. You'll manage without them, but they make life a little bit more comfortable and a little bit easier when you're traveling the whole time.
And then we're going to make our way up to the most essentials for the very last.
Number 1, a phone holder. We have a phone holder next to the steering wheel. We use Google Maps for navigation, so we just put our phone there. Easy, done. Number 2, carpets. Most of the floor of our van is covered in carpet. It just adds a little bit of coziness. It keeps us warm in winter.
Our feet are just not getting as cold when we're cooking or eating or whatever it is.
Number 3, curtains and blankets. Curtains for privacy, because you don't want people seeing in the van at night especially. Also, it divides the space up, so in our bed in winter we could close the curtains and we had a nice warm bed.
Whilst the rest of the van was still quite cold. It just helps to heat up that little bit of space that you are in.
And blankets, well, here's our pile of blankets.
And the one we're sitting on. You need blankets, well, to sit on, to cozy yourself in. You might need 3 blankets to cozy yourself in if it's cold.
Number 4, crackers. We eat bread basically every day for breakfast, but sometimes we run out of bread and we know that in the back we have crackers. They're not quite as nice as bread, but they're there and we've got something. Also, we've both got food poisoning at some point on this trip, and crackers are a lifesaver because they're the blandest thing you can get pretty much, and when you've got food poisoning, you want bland food.
At the moment I have those. We got them in some supermarket from Vasa. Very basic.
Number 5, candles. Candles, they are nice for cozy vibes at night, especially in winter. It's just a nice light that isn't so artificial like electric lights. And also, in case you have no power anymore, you want candles and maybe torches just to have light.
We used to have such big red ones, and we have such a very fancy beeswax candle. Look at that beautiful thing. Oh my goodness.
And then we've got tea lights just.
Number 6, your reliable way to charge your favorite devices, electrical devices. You want to charge your phones on a regular basis, right? Because you use them a lot, because you don't get around it anymore. Now, in our case, mine and Haley's phones have different charging plugs. So we have one USB-C and one micro USB. So we came up with a solution that I saw previously by some friends, which is like that you have such a magnetic little blob that you put in, and then you just need to connect the cable to this blob, which sits in your phone. And then you can just take that magnetic cable off and plug it into another phone easily. Then those cables go in this thing, which like just goes in your cigarette lighter thing. It also converts a Bluetooth signal to a radio signal, so you can use it for playing your favorite songs from your phone and have it on old radios working. So this is a very multifunctional thing, and this is just a very smart way of connecting and charging your phones.
We have a power bank in case we need to charge our phones when we're not driving, because we mostly try to charge things while driving.
And then we have a thing that we don't know what it is called in English. Underneath our co-driver's seat, we have a so-called Wechselrichter. That's how you call it in German, which basically converts one type of power that is stored in the battery into another type of power that you want to have put into your phones, into your power banks, etc. Also your laptops. And we can use that anytime as such, but depending on what you're charging, it will drain the battery. So we use it mainly just whilst driving. Number 7, water containers. We have a 130-liter water tank. Therewith we shower, we wash up, and we can also use it as drinking water. But we also do have, specifically for drinking water, quite a few bottles. And this I think it's 10 liters. Depending on how you're traveling, you may not be able to have a 130 liter water tank. Our one is actually quite big, I think. But our point is you want to have a good amount of water, but especially also drinking water and good containers for it.
Number 8, basic tools. Paul's getting his toolbox and I'll let him explain a bit more.
A basic set of tools. So that goes pretty much from anything like a little pocket knife to a box of tools. Depends how well you know what you're doing. Regarding tools, we have a bit much more than you would need. We have more because, well, I'm a carpenter and we did do one work away where it was good to have those because they made use of my skills and my tools, so happy days. Our point, there's a couple of things that you should have. Things like a good tape, a pair of pliers, one screwdriver that has multiple bits or like a couple of different screwdrivers, some wrenches, a pair of gloves, some WD-40, a good knife, maybe a couple of screws, some things to fix other things with, a bit of rope, maybe some replacement tools that somebody made you on the way, and just some random things that you also just collected and there's some spare parts. Take it along. Why? Simply because this van, as you have it when you started, it will not stay together exactly like that. There will be things breaking and you will have to fix them up unless, well, you just ignore it and at some point your whole van falls apart. Our door squeaked, our fridge broke, our handle to the back broke. You're gonna need a screwdriver to pull a couple screws tight or to maybe put a new screw in so that you can fix some washing lines at the ceiling. There's many things that can happen.
Number 9, emergency equipment.
I'll go again.
There's a few things that you should have, not that you want to have them because you don't want to have an emergency where you need them, but like you should have them just in case.
A shovel / spade. This is a very nice borrowed present that we got from a good friend. In case you do get super stuck and you lose completely the attraction, this thing might save you. On top of this, this has like a bit of a stow and a nail puller. It's like from Second World War or something, I don't know. But like, if you get stuck, you can dig yourself out of things. And on top of that, well, you might need a shovel if you need to go outside for a toilet. And then there's an axe. Also, both axe and shovel we have not been needing for any big emergencies yet. But what if you are getting on this road that is like leading you kilometers for kilometers along forest of forest, and then there's this one sort of small tree or whatsoever and it just needs to get out of the way. Well, you may not be the right person for this, but like in my case I was like, I'm gonna take an axe. I can chop some firewood if you want to make a fire, but it's gonna also just save us in case there's a tree in the way. As simple as this. In our case now, we only have one way out. If tonight is a thunderstorm and tomorrow there's a thing in the way, we can get ourselves out. This video is turning into Paul is telling you cool things that he would love to use it one day. Also, in case it's actually a bit of a bigger tree, we have a different solution still. This is a chainsaw, but it's for your hand. You can take it out like that and you connect 2 handles to it. And then you can go around your log and saw your way through that log and you can get out. Cool, no?
A first aid kit.
In case you are getting stuck, your wheels are not gripping anymore, or your engine is breaking down completely, then, well, it's better to have a tow rope that if you already meet somebody, they can also help you out by pulling you out of wherever you are and getting you into safety.
Also a fire extinguisher.
Obvious, right? Don't need to explain much there.
Right, so we took a little break because the camera SD card was full and the battery empty. So I had to go and move a bunch of files to Paul's laptop, which is now full.
And empty.
Hope we haven't missed much. We're gonna go from where I think we left off. Last but not least, number 10, safety equipment. So as a motorhome is not the safest or not the most secure home, it's fairly easy to break in. We've got a few safety features. First of all, obviously all the doors have locks, but our boot door and our side door have an extra lock that we can put on if we're in an area that has a lot of break-ins or we just feel a bit unsafe. Our front doors, as in our car doors, have alarms on them that will make an alarm if the windows are smashed or attempted to be smashed. Also, general safety, we always make sure we have our keys with us when we leave the van. We have our important documents with us when we leave. We close all the curtains and blinds so people can't see in.
We do not park in areas where we feel like this is just not a safe area and leave the van alone there.
Now you can of course go way more extreme with the safety measures. There's lots of options. We've been safe enough with those safety measures. If you want, you can do research and find even more. And that's us for this video. I hope you found it helpful.
If there's anything particular that you are interested in and we haven't mentioned anything regarding important things that you either are interested in getting for yourself and wonder whether it makes sense, or have in your van and you have seen that we don't have that and say we should have it, or other people generally should have it, let us know in the comments.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Now I have to tie this all away.